On.
Welcome to Inside the Other Dimension with Damon, Penny, and Ben Winfield. We take you further down the paranormal rabbit hole, looking deeper into strange happenings in the dark. We explore why the paranormal is such a mystery, and we package it all up for the truth. Odds. Sit back, relax, and get weird. Only on Inside the Other Dimension.
And welcome along. It's Inside the Other Dimension. It's the bonus show, and yes, it's free for you guys tonight. Looking in on Facebook at all our Patreons. I'm going to get a list up and I'm going to shout them all out, like, because there's a fair few and I can't remember them all because I'm really thick.
Roll call.
Yeah, I need to do the Patreon roll call. But I will get there, guys. I'm just settling down. I've moved back in with the parents, so just bear with me. You know, the life of a single man, basically sleep and work, and then go bed, and then go work, and then that's about it. But I am going to be doing some live streams from some ghost events that I'll be going on soon as well, so that's going to be good. And Kathy actually mentioned me the other day. She said she's got a venue for the Other Dimension live ghost hunt. So I'm excited. I'll tell you where it is, actually.
Do I get to know?
You'll forget anyway, don't worry.
Yeah, this is why I don't tell you. I was going to text Lou because then she could remind you every 2 weeks. Let's have a look. Hold on.
He's slated off Ben Day. Right, we've just done another live, haven't we? Like,
Buckingham Old Jail we might be going to. So I'm going to get back to Kathy on that one. But yeah, welcome along, guys. It's Inside the Other Dimension. It's the bonus show. We sort of do this like now and again where we sort of do the bonus show live on Facebook as well. So big shouts out to Paul and out to Emma. Welcome along. That's your sister, isn't it? She's always on.
I know. It's a pain in the arse.
Don't be nasty to your siblings, Ben. We're supposed to be joined by my brother tonight, but it looks like FIFA's more appealing. So blowout. But yeah, welcome along. This is the bonus show Inside the Other Dimension, where we just sort of you get to see behind the scenes. We talk about random paranormal stuff. We don't really have a subject.
No, absolute. I know we can't swear on this one, can we?
No, we can't, and that's the problem. We can have a little swear, I suppose. We can say that words like a-hole and p-head and d-head, like your sisters has called you.
Yeah, pretty much. That would not be surprised.
Yeah, but that involved too much thinking, like before speaking. And that involved having to stop what he's saying, to think what he's trying to say, to then get confused about what he's then going to say, and then to talk about something else.
Just sleep. What is it?
It's all right, man. Look, I'll back you up 100%. I know Lou's only here tonight because Mystics are not out. I get it. I understand.
It's Thursday.
She's here just to abuse me. I think that's why Paul's in the comments as well. Paul will just be giving me abuse.
So yeah, welcome along to the show where we literally cane Ben for the next hour. So
this is where they get their own back on me. Like backstage is where everyone gets their own back on me.
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, well, welcome along, guys. Don't forget, if you do want to join the Patreon, head over to patreon.com/the Other Dimension, sign up. We've even got a little we've even got a little thing now where you guys can sign up for as little as £1 a month. Like, we are working on it. From the paranormal, big shouts out to Jacqueline as well, and out to Lou Haddo. You guys were just on there. I was locked into that. It was really, really good. Me and Paul decided to we're going to add something into the shows now where we're going to dive into Ben's box.
Right.
So we're going to find out. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I mean, we got some things to talk about tonight. I've been going through some bits and bobs and seeing we was actually talking the other day because we're thinking like the exclusive to you guys that are locked in tonight. Me and my old team are thinking about starting up again, but doing it just via Facebook and instead of doing public events. So Truth Paranormal might be coming back. If we are, trust me, lock into that. We're a bunch of absolute nutheads. I remember being on investigation over at Forest and we were recording, but back then you only had the cameras. You couldn't go live on Facebook and that. And we actually recorded my dad falling the whole way down the side of a hill into a river. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, that's an exclusive for you guys. It might be happening. Bear with us. If it does, everyone on the Other Dimension and on the Demonology UK page will get an invite over to that. Okay. So I'm hoping. But yeah, I was talking to him the other night, and because we stopped investigating now about 4, 5, 6 years ago, and how it's changed from then to now. You know, it's so much different. Like back then, you had to do your public events so that you can then get your money together to be able to buy better venues and so on and so forth. And now you can just go live on Facebook and stick your stars up, and people can. You can have like, see, you know, like when you used to do public events, you had like, oh, you can only have 20 people or 30 people. Now you can have like 400 people watching at the same time. You're like, wow, that's a packed event. At the same time, you don't feel under pressure, which is good. It's crazy, isn't it?
We'll do one from the bottom of the garden. I'll do an exclusive inside my box.
I'm gonna have to do like a jingle in it, like of some woman going, "As we enter Ben's box."
I tell you, I'm gonna do one paranormal night. Say this, I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna go and like have someone record, basically just do David Attenborough's voice for the whole.
As we hear the female mating call of the poltergeist, as she strings her feathers, ready for the succubus. Oh mate, it would work. It would work. I've always wanted this. I've always said that I've always wanted David Attenborough to do the voiceovers for like if I ever go out investigating, because it'd be great.
Oh no! If I had the choice out of anyone, it'd have to be Steve Irwin, if he was still alive.
Mine's David Attenborough or Morgan Freeman. Can you imagine that? Like, imagine David Attenborough comment on me. As Damon enters the dark room, we can smell a little poop in his pants.
And just imagine like Steve Irwin though doing that. Crikey, we've got this demon in this corner. I'm gonna try and get up and wrestle him. I can just get behind him and jump him. I can get a good roll on him. Crikey, look at the arms on him.
Oh, mate, honestly, that's what I was saying to. I think someone was commenting on it the other day. Someone was messaging me and saying about the show, how they love the show because we have that real comedy in it as well. I think as much as you've got to obviously be serious with the whole paranormal thing, I think comedy comes into play as well, because if you've got that bit of comedy, like it keeps people engaged. It makes it more sort of, because laughter helps create the atmosphere for spirits to sort of manifest as well, doesn't it?
Oh god, yeah. Like I was saying on there, me and you take make out of each other, and Lou just comes in bashing their heads together.
Yeah, she's like the teacher that sort of comes in and goes, you right, sit down lines now. I must not play pranks while on a paranormal show. I went it 1,000 times.
Or in your guys' case, I will not use up all the internet so that I can't get online.
Oh, you're throwing that one up. You're playing that card again.
Yeah, still got that one.
But yeah, I mean, in the paranormal world at the moment, it's going a bit crazy. I watched Dibbert Box again the other day, which was quite cool. I like it. I know that. I like it a lot. I know it promotes bad things, though, because people say, you know, don't mess about with Dibbert boxes and all that, especially with buying them off the black web and all that sort. But I like the feeling of being. I'm weird. I like the feeling of being scared. And you know, if anybody out there in the chat is the same as me, is a complete freaking weirdo, yeah, and likes the feeling of being scared, then hit us up, because I love it. I love the feeling of being scared. I don't know why. It's like adrenaline. Gets in there, you know what I mean? Gets it going.
Go jump out of a plane.
I need to like sort of get a proper hobby, I suppose. I might start knitting. I'm at that age now.
I'll tell you one thing though. You say that about fear. There was good couple of years ago, someone told me the case where they had a demonic attachment.
Mm-hmm.
But every time they went a certain flight of stairs, to say like I think like every time they went up the fourth floor of their apartment, wherever they were living, the demonic used to detach because they didn't like heights. Seriously, this is an actual case.
Wow.
So this was in, I think it was in Boston. This demonic used to the person would see it waiting at the bottom of the stairs for him to come down. But he had no other route, so every time he went down, he got reattached to this spirit. Or he used to literally stop on the floor waiting for him.
you just go, right, this. So if someone contacted me like that, man, this is the problem I've got. I go, look, there's a really easy solution. Yeah, just move to the top floor in a block of flats. And then the only time you'll be possessed is when you go to work or you go shopping, which are the 2 times you need to be possessed throughout the day. So win-win, win-win situation there for you.
Well, that's just a prime example of how strange, like I was just about on that show. People misunderstand the demonology completely enough.
Oh, yeah.
There's an example of a demon that's scared of height.
Yeah. I mean, I think people still live under this fallacy that demonics their sole purpose in life is to possess you. Now, we spoke about this plenty of times, especially on the bonus show, because we get out information and all that about it. But the way that we sort of come across, we put it to people, and so everybody that's listening tonight, let me know if you agree or disagree. Me and Ben comes to the conclusion that there's good and bad in every race. Demonics are a race in themselves, but their sole purpose is not to possess, because these are beings that are highly more intelligent. They're able to travel interdimensionally. They have a greater purpose than us as humans in life. So why would they want to possess something that's lower than them in the food chain, sort of thing? Yeah,
they've existed for thousands. These guys are basically immortal. So why the hell bother about others?
Shouts out to Jeanette. How you doing?
Hey.
You all right? Jeanette was on the other show, wasn't she? On Paranormal Peak.
I think
she's a regular follower of Mystic Paranormal UK.
Well, do you know what we're gonna do? Just to be like, because obviously, Mystic stole our PA, so we're gonna steal all their listeners. It's only fair. Out to Paul. It's only fair, mate. It's the way it's got to go. I've been practicing my Fastian bargains. I know what I'm doing. I'm happy to sell my soul.
Don't think anyone would want yours, Dave.
Actor Shelley saying, love this subject. Not something I've been interested in before, but I'm definitely interested now. Yeah, I mean, you've got to look at
everyone's coming over from the other show. Hello. Okay.
Well, I think we owe them. I think we owe them a bit of a proper deep conversation.
Yeah.
Now, I know that you've wanted to touch on before the subject of the different races. The Eternals, the Apocalyptics, the Elementals. Now, what people have to understand is before we start getting into all these different types of I don't know if you call them demonic races. I think they're sort of, I'd call them demonic races.
Yeah, go for that.
You have to look at the standpoint in which me and Ben stand at. It's not the sense of, the old age, Catholic Church or the Christian Church or even the 6 main religions. They have this concept of evil and good, and demonics are evil, angels are good. We don't come from that standpoint. We look at them as interdimensional beings, beings that are on a different realm, that have come from a different realm and traveled over to here. And they're here to sort of, you can make bargains with them and stuff like that, but you also have the pure fact of they're here to teach, because it's all about human nature. Like, people don't realize it's about, gaining that sort of next step up in consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah, you look, for example, like I said on the other show, you look, for example, every single demonic go in the hierarchy, the 72 songs. Every single one, the first thing it says next to their name will go they will teach this, they will teach that, they will teach the other. They all teach something.
Yeah.
And if you look into history of all religions, they all show that spiritual entities, be it good or bad, were all there to teach.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where it gets lost a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even down to like that, you know, the Key of Solomon and stuff like that. Each one has a specific area in which they specialize in. You know, Dantalion has the ability to influence and read minds.
Wonder why you threw that name.
Because he's my favorite. Everyone has a favorite. I mean, now when we talk about different races of demonics, a lot of people reach out to the elementals. They're the first thing that comes to people's minds. You know, are they demonic? I don't know.
Ironically, for obviously our normal Patreon listeners, I've just been writing up your guys' first lecture you'll be getting off me, and it is on elementals.
Woohoo! I shall be looking into that one.
Yeah. When it comes to that subject, basically elementals at the minute, they are not what everyone remembers. From the 16th century onwards, they've been known as elementals. They've been known as this. That's it. That's what they are.
Yeah.
They're not. It spreads out to massive amount of things. They are not demonics. They are not angelics. They are literally creatures.
Yeah.
You get creatures and you get beings. For example, the jinn, created by fire.
Yeah.
So that basically means, in a sense, that they're elementals because they're created by the element fire.
Yeah.
Humans can be classed as elementals in a sense because we are created by water. Our body's 70% water. So that technically means we're an elemental of water. This is where this whole elemental argument starts. There is a massive umbrella, in a sense, that covers them all.
Next, you got your more popular ones people know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, she learns. It's good.
Well, I've got one for us now.
Yeah.
Gold star for Lou. I mean, yeah, like with elementals and that, I mean, the fallacy is whenever you mention the word elementals to someone, they either go with this whole spirit that control the element that they're designated to. So, i.e., if it's a fire elemental, it can control fire, and that's why you get the moving candles, or you get the elementals of water. Yeah. I don't think it's that in depth. I mean, I know that there's a really famous case of an elemental in a castle in Ireland. The name was just there and it's just buggered off. But yeah, and it's supposed to be a wind elemental there, and it does control breezes and winds within the castle. And there's hundreds of different parts of evidence to support that as well. I'm trying to think of the name of the castle. I can't remember what it's called.
Well, that's an air elemental. So that could be itself. It could be an air sprite. It could be an air phantom. It could even be a banshee, technically, because banshees are an control air. So that's what I mean when it comes to people just going, "Yeah, that's an elemental. That's it." It doesn't work that way. When it comes to elements in themselves, you need all the elements
Leap
to
Castle.
create Leap Castle.
Leap Castle, that's it.
She's good.
Gosh, she's like a Google queen. I told you though. I did tell you though. I mean, it's up there. It's just I've got a lot going on at the moment, so it's hard to access. I need that thing from Harry Potter. Do you know where they get the wand and they put it to their head and they pull out and they put it in a pensieve? I need one of them. Oh, I found out as well. Just completely off subject. Pensieves are real. Like it really sort of blew my mind. I was looking up about pensieves and they're real. The Babylonians, the Sumerians, and the Egyptians, they actually used to use pensieves. But what they used to do is they used to push their head into water, so they would then deprive themselves of their senses to be able to access memories that were shut off.
Yeah, the Arcanian Library.
Yeah. Oh, what's it's also called the Akashic Library as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just on that fact as well, because we know what I'm like. scientists have actually invented and are on the cusp of fine-tuning a machine that can replay your dreams, which is also considered that.
Mate, I know what I'd have 3 series on Netflix and they'd be bestsellers from my dreams because they are mental. They are absolutely mental. I told you the one about the demon where I was about to attack it with the oranges and the thing ate the oranges.
Yeah.
I was like, just throwing orange pills at it. Like. Honestly, my dreams are absolutely mental. But yeah, I mean, you got the elementals. Another main fallacy, another sort of a fact that I wanted to attack tonight is like angels are good. Like that's another thing because angels obviously their own race in themselves. They're not. They're
No.
not. They are. Don't get me wrong. There are good angels out there. Well, we call them angelics. There's good angelics out there. But we always say it on the shows. There is one angelic that has the highest body count of them all. You know, even compared to the demonics. So angelics in themselves. I mean, I suppose if you were going to sort of categorize an angelic, it would just be based on their energies and the way they look, and like you said about behavior as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, when you get to the messengers more than the angelics, because obviously we know what an angel looks like, and it's one hell of a scary sight.
Yeah.
The messengers, you take for example Azil, the one-eyed fanboy over, got the biggest kill streak going by wiped out every firstborn in Egypt.
Yeah. He had he nuked really early.
Pretty much, yeah. He got his kill streak high in the game.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Then you got people like you look at Michael and Raphael, for example. They are the more what's known as a race called Valentians and anything else, where they're not angelics, because angelics are all in a sense messages to God. So then you've got the Valentian race that were known as winged beings. Break off from them is the Valkyries in the Nordic mythology. You've got that massive outburst of things.
The Valentians, there is mentions. I've done a fair few books on Atlantis, and there's mentions of a Valentian race being there. They were the blonde-haired, blue-eyed, massive, muscular race that were able to influence and read minds, but also at the same time had psychic powers. Because there were 7 major races there, weren't there? And humans being the lowest of them all, I suppose.
Yeah, the Valentians were the break-off race. They were the ones with the wings.
Yes.
They were the ones that seeded the Nephilim. Is it Nephilim? The giants, children.
I thought it was the Fallen that seeded the Nephilim.
Yeah, the Fallen were categorized as the Valkyries. Valentians. Again, this is what we mean to those that are listening new, and we're on the previous show. There are massive categories. Like me and Damon go through them on a regular basis, but we only skim some of them. Like we spend episodes where we dive straight to all of them. You can
get lost. You can get lost for absolute days. I mean, when I first discovered this whole thing about the Anunnaki and the Nephilim and the story of the Nephilim, I was lost for days. For everybody out there that don't know, when we say Nephilim, they're a race of giants that were spawned from the fallen angels going and mating. Well, the angels weren't fallen at the time. They were going down to Earth and mating with human women, and they were spawning these giant creatures called Nephilim, and that's what caused the war to be able to get them to. And supposedly the whole flood of Noah was to do with the fact that they were trying to get rid of the Nephilim. But the Bible made it into a story about, the great flood and all this sort of thing. But yeah, so Nephilim, and there's 3 different races of Nephilim as well, because you've got Nephilim, you've got, my mind's gone blank, and you've got, I've forgotten a lot of them. So yeah, I could have made up any name there whatsoever. I could just come up with some random name like, his name's not him, and people would have believed that. But I don't want to do that.
We don't do that on here.
No, we don't want to do that.
Prime example, if anyone is actually listening, you want to actually know the actual origins of the more specific point of origins when it comes to the city of Atlantis. it's actually more wrote about being near the Eye of Africa, which can be seen from space, more than out in the Mediterranean or out in the Atlantic Ocean. Or I think I've heard it mentioned that it's out towards Bermuda as well, which is really interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people sort of. The story goes, obviously, you know, the conspiracy around the Bermuda Triangle, when planes go in there or boats go and they disappear, it's because they're getting pulled into this city of Atlantis, which has its own gravitational pull.
Yeah.
I've heard stories that Atlantis is still going and it's inside the hollow earth. That I think that was spawned from Godzilla King of Monsters, which was the film, if anyone watched that. The guy on there spoke about Hollow Earth and Atlantis and that. And it's funny because when they actually go and see Godzilla and he's actually inside Hollow Earth, if you actually look at the stones behind where he's sleeping, it looks very Atlantean. It looks very old school, you know, like sort of what you would associate like sculptures of Poseidon and stuff like that. So
they basically say it, don't they, in the film without mention.
They do. He's like, I knew Hollow Earth exists. It's like, it's like the flat earthers crack me up. They've been getting some stick on TikTok recently.
Hey, what are you on the fence about?
I'm still on the fence. I'm more leaning towards Hollow Earth than Flat Earth, if I'm honest with you. But the Flat Earthers are getting a bit of stick because I can't remember his name. There's a famous comedian. He's like renowned for being like a sarcastic idiot. And he was like, they asked him, so what's your view on Flat Earth? And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's cool. You know, I can get where they're coming from. You know, everyone has to have a hobby that they need to get to. You know, the only bad point about Flat Earth is that they're all wrong. It's like, oh, wow.
Yeah, but to be fair, I've dropped that gauntlet down Anna for a while. If anyone that's willing to come on the show and try and convince me that the Earth is flat, be my guest. And no one has yet picked that up.
No, and yeah, I mean, it'd be. I will find a flat earther to come on the show, and we will talk about flat Earth. It'd be quite cool. But
you'll have to look all over the globe for it to find
something. It is all over. Yeah, flat earthers all over the globe. Yeah.
What? You just sighed.
Yeah.
We will end up getting like loads of hate mail now for people that actually believe the Earth is flat.
I've got a friend who believes it's flat.
I mean, the arguments against it, there are arguments against it that I do agree with, but at the same time, it feels like they're sort of clutching at straws.
Yeah.
You know?
Funny enough, I mentioned this at work to someone else when I was talking to one of my workmates. The best place to go, if you generally think the world is flat, the best place to go is go to Manhattan and stand down one of the streets.
Yeah.
And you will see down, if you can see it on perfectly good weather, stand and look down one of the main streets and you will see one end of Manhattan and the other, and you will see the whole thing bloody curves.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a documentary on Netflix. I think Paul was talking about it. And it's called Flattening the Curve. And some of the arguments they have on there are really like, you sort of go, oh, right, okay, yeah, no, I'm jumping on this bandwagon. I can see where you're coming from now. And then when you come off of the documentary and you have a look and you go, right, okay. You know, like the whole thing of Joe the man had done the highest jump from space. He'd done it for Red Bull, remember? Yeah. Their argument is they use the fisheye camera. That's why the Earth looks like a globe, and that's do the same thing when they go up in the rockets and they use a fisheye camera, and that's why it makes it. But then when you actually go and look at the research on it, it's like it's hard. I'm not going to get into it. Otherwise, we'll end up talking about flat Earth for like God knows how long. But yeah, it's a crazy. I don't know where I believe. I mean, I'm more sort of. I like the Hollow Earth theory. You know, the whole thing about a reptilian race living in the middle of the Earth. I'm sort of more leaning, and people go, you're crazy, you know, you're crazy. You'd rather believe in reptilian creatures that live in the middle of the earth rather than believing the earth is flat. It's like, well, yeah, you know, I'm sort of one of them people. I sort of put it out there, and people think I'm weird, and it's cool.
Yeah,
it's attractive.
It's trying to be a bit weird.
It's attractive. It makes me tall, dark, and handsome.
It's one of them prime examples. I always say, if you look at you look into cultology and that for years, saying that's around. You look at Sumerians. Now that's where it gets interesting, because this is an ancient race, one of the oldest races that documented stuff now. They count inwards into our solar system, so there's even more confusing fact. We're planet number 7, not planet number 3. To work that one out.
Crazy. Yeah, no, that is proper. Add to Vonnie. Hello, Vonnie.
Hey, Vonnie. And these are the same guys that are also talking about like the demons and elementals and gods. And so they literally, the Sumerians literally covered every subject going.
Yeah, they literally did. That's a question I'm wanting to ask you for a little while, actually. And it's a bit of an on-the-spot question, but who do you think built the pyramids?
I can give you his name, and if I can remember correctly. And
you can give you his name.
I love the way he goes. I love the way he goes. If I can remember correctly, and then looks at you, Lou.
I know.
Like, go get my notes.
I know everyone's got this theory that it was built by aliens, and there's the theory that it's built by 1,000 Jews. But archaeologists in Egypt have got this big, long description and tombs around there that discovered it was an actual paid working force of people.
See, I heard a story the other day. A theory. The theory is that it was the Anunnaki that helped build the pyramids.
Yeah. According to even their own legends, they were gone by the time the pyramids were built. Yeah,
this is what I was thinking. But it could have been some form of demonic, like that helped, I suppose, or some form of interdimensional race. I find it extremely hard to believe that they built that with no cranes, no hydraulic systems, that these giant rocks were just lifted up using logs and ropes.
Here's one for you that I came across while I've been doing a bit of study on the Egyptian demonics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a small documented part of parchment they found, and it is verified as well with some Roman information in Greek that the Nephilim were actually there. They built the pyramids. So giant people built the pyramids.
That's where my theory was going. That's why I asked you. That's where my theory was going, because I was going to go with that. I was going to go with it. You think about it, the time of Noah, you know, and then you had Moses. Moses was Enoch's grandson, and Enoch spoke of the Nephilim. So it's sort of all around that sort of time. And it all sort of ties into the fact that these giant rocks can be lifted by these giant creatures or people.
I will say this to anyone when it comes to people saying, "Oh yeah," you get the occasion people go, "Oh yeah, they rolled them there on logs. they took them there on boats." I'm sorry, for someone that's actually been out there and stood in front of the pyramids on the Giza Plateau, the Giza Plateau is elevated up by a good 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
As for the Nile, you can't see it. Cairo just disappears.
Yeah.
The Nile is gone.
I had to Jacqueline say, "Hi, I haven't seen you for ages. Have you any sage?" Don't even go there, Jacqueline. Don't even go there. Don't get me started on the sage rage. Like,
if you'd like to sponsor him for £2 a month, you can send him sage, and he will be in a better place.
Damon has spent 2 months without sage. You can just, for £2 a month, sponsor him and give him some sage so he can make his house smell nice.
Chicken.
Yes, chicken.
Yeah. You get a free stuffed abyssal chicken when you sponsor me. No, Joe, what? When you was talking, mate, I was going Sage. No, like honestly, you could burn anything. You could burn rubbish, and it will do more for a negative haunting than sage.
I'm pretty sure I tried using my socks at one point.
Yeah,
I just had this.
Around.
This image just come in my head of him trying to burn his socks while he's still got them on his feet.
I probably would do some of that stupid.
Antimony saying, I want the chicken. She want the chicken.
We've all seen how stupid I am. To those new fans that come on, just to show you an example of how I am stupid in general day, I dropped a still saw, which is a big 14-inch circular saw, into my leg at work.
And then decided to go to a hospital where no one spoke the same language.
Yeah. Then went to a hospital where they had to get a translator because in the middle of Reading, no one seemed to understand my northern accent.
Oh, John, we've had some really funny stories on here. Like for people that don't know about Inside the Other Dimension, we this is the silly side. This is where we sort of, even though we have these deep conversations about things, I was talking about the pyramids and that, we do have a silly side where we just sort of like let ourselves go, and you get to see us backstage. You know what I mean, I'm in my pajamas, for Christ's sake.
That's a brilliant stories, haven't we?
Oh yeah,
the old bloke's still my best.
The what?
So, the old bloke is still my best.
Oh, our guest.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
so for those of you that are new, there's a thing out for people to, obviously when we get mediums on the show, to see if you can actually read me. For years.
Oh, actually, so sorry to cut you off. Actually, I might have somebody that can read you, and I might try and get them on Saturday. But I mean, they're very, very camera shy.
That'll be interesting. But yeah, this elderly gentleman came on and tried to read me, and he first came out and said they had my grandma there, and she's saying hello from the other side, and I went, well, that's funny because I was on the phone to her before we basically came on air. She's perfectly fine and well. Oh, it's on your dad's side. Well, no, because she's, as far as I'm aware, she's perfectly fine and alive as well. Oh,
that's why you're so hard to read, because you're the only person in the world whose grandparents are still alive.
Hey, my grandma's 94. She's built like a brick house and is ruled my life with an iron fist, as long as with my mom as well. Both an iron fists.
Emma's saying, didn't you break something when you jumped off a wall at school?
Yes, I did. I jumped off a small wall about 2 foot high and broke my foot. Thank you for that,
I walked into a wall once and broke 3 of my toes. I don't know how you're supposed to walk into a wall, but I did.
I fell up the stairs and required an operation on my foot.
My favourite story of Ben is where he went to that investigation, was in a tunnel on the stairs and decided to jump and actually thought that nothing would happen to his neck.
Oh, that was, what do you call it? That was Edinburgh Volks when they jumped up the stairs and forgot the roof was still level.
Actually, Shelley saying you're an unlucky guy. He is unlucky. And he was blessed with this brilliant occultic brain. Yeah, but he has no common sense whatsoever.
It is that thing. I can't function in normal day society.
Yeah, honestly, for everybody out there that's listening in, Lou is not only his fiance, she is his full-time carer as well. I mean, we have a laugh anyway. At the end of the day, that's what we do. We have a laugh here, but I bet Emma's got some proper dodgy stories. I'm gonna have to speak to her on Facebook.
No, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you plenty of stories.
I don't, man. I'm gonna have to line up the Truth Paranormal to come back on the other dimension, because you talk about embarrassing stories. My whole team is made up of family members, because you've got my auntie, my uncle, my mum, my dad, my brother. It's just like, wow. Emma saying, "Be my pleasure." That's all right. We'll sort it out. I'm up for that.
No, we're not getting my sister on any way, shape, or form.
No, she can divulge the information to me, and then I can leak it slowly over the next year on the Inside the Other Dimension.
It's going to be a nightmare at the end of next year when we have the wedding and everything.
I got just use the word nightmare in the same sentence as our wedding.
Oh,
It's just going to be taking
Ben,
that sofa's looking comfy.
our wedding is a nightmare.
You already know that you're going to be taking the Mickey out, along with everyone else. No one's going to be bothered about it. It's going to be Bully Bender.
I'm not.
No, we're not going to rename the wedding Bully Bender either. No.
And Inside. And welcome to Inside the Couple Bereaving.
And that was the last they saw of Ben. No one ever knew what quite happened, but Lou was seen the next day with a black bin bag going down to the river.
I was in a pig field. I don't, Joe. I'm not going to stir the pot too much, but the words "wedding" and "nightmare" should never be used in the same sentence unless you want a judo chop to the throat.
Look, we know I'm stupid.
You will go in your box.
Is he going to go inside Ben's box?
If you're going Ben's box.
That'd be great. As we go inside Ben's box, as we open it, he's like, "It's Ben!" Oh, mad. Do I start with the school or house part? Oh, I mean, look. If you guys on the chat room, if you've got any questions you want to ask us, like, we've got about 20-25 minutes left. So if we do an AMA, I know people like to do question and answer, but I like to do AMAs, which is ask me anything. So if you want to ask me and Ben anything, whether it's doing normal or whatever, even if you want to know my shoe size, bank details, I'm happy to disclose them. There's nothing in there at all. I am broke. So yeah, I mean, ask us anything if you want to do that there in the chat. Ask us anything and we'll answer it. Yeah, like it's something that I've been wanting to try. I wanted to do for ages. I've been wanting to sort of like just go on Facebook and just do an AMA. Yeah, Shelley saying, "Do you not just get tempted to open that box and it's someone you don't like?"
I have been tempted to take that box to someone. Well, some people's, should we say, place of work, and just go.
Oh yeah,
go for it. And just
but
it'd be like a box full of wasps. I'd proper shake the living hell out of it first, and then take it in and just go, ta-da, and leave it.
So that really annoying person when you go down the pub that won't stop talking, you sort of go and see inside. Look, do you want another drink? There's £3 inside that box. Just open it and you can get it out, and then and they just end up having an attachment and their head spinning 360 at the bar. Everyone goes, "Oh, bloody drunk again."
I used to try years ago when I first started doing photography, and I started learning how to do attachments and stuff like that. Something attachment. I got told by my teacher at the time, "Don't try this. There's obviously repercussions and stuff like that." But I did used to try and do them every so often, like see if an attachment would work on a person. I called it field research. My teacher called it being a.
I can see why. I mean, I messaged you the other day saying I wanted a Dibbit box, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's for field research. Well, I will call it Ben's field research.
You say that I've had even Luke, yes, even you've been guilty of asking me to see if I can conjure someone up, use them and set them forth from people. Yeah. So is my sister. So they're both guilty.
everyone. I'm not being funny. If you study demonology and occultology, then you really like get to a point where like someone's having a go at you, you just go, do you know what? I ain't even got the energy for you anymore. Lucifer, get him.
I've been guilty of doing that. To be fair, even if my mum is watching, which I don't know if she is still or not, even you, and I'm calling you out on Facebook, even you are guilty of doing magical practices because you tried them on my dad. And I know full well it worked because I was doing research at the time and I didn't want to say anything.
So, I mean, what do you say to that? I can't follow on from that. Do you know what I mean? Ben managed to come across a small voodoo doll of his dad. Like,
I've even my sister on it. I've even caught my sister going through my books looking for new techniques to use on people. So everyone, I've had this vast amount of knowledge given to me going, right, these are obviously certain practices you're not supposed to use. And then other people have used them.
Out to Drew, hello Drew. Out to Emma, she went, I don't summon anything, I just laugh and summon Frodo.
For everyone that wants to know, I am Frodo.
Yeah. And Joe, the funny thing is, like, for a little while, I've sort of gone, no, but now I can see why. But if you're Frodo, that makes me Sam, so that makes me really sad. Vonnie's asking, Ben, what got you into demonology?
A lot of things sort of accumulated. Like I said on the other show, my teacher at school kind of got me into studying it a bit more as well, and it just went from there because he's one of the archbishops of the Russian Orthodox Church. And me and him used to go on conversations for hours. The rest of like my generation that was in the class, the rest of my friends and that used to love it because the whole lesson was them basically just doing what the hell they wanted and me talking to the teacher constantly about stuff.
Out to Tiger, out to Drew.
Yeah. Hi guys.
Oh, that's a cool name. Tiger Miller. I like that. That's a cool name. I only got into demonology for the women, but it turned out, I mean, it didn't work very well, so there you go. But yeah, no, I mean, like, guys, we're running an AMA now, so if you have any questions, ask them. Even if you want to ask Lou as well, Lou has to be involved in this. She has to do it because she buggered off and left us for another team. So if you want to ask Lou anything as well, I'm never going to drop it. I want
to see this fight going off between you and Paul.
We're fun warring. That's what we're going to do. We're going to fun war. Whoever wins the fun war. But what you don't realise, though, is at your wedding, once the best man gives the speech, I'm going to stand up and I'm going ding, 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 ding. I'd just like to mention as well that Lou left the show and went with another paranormal team. Thanks, guys. I'm going to sit down.
He's going to be settled. Everything should be settled in the old style that never changes.
What, Ching Chang Walla?
Rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, damn right. I've got it. I'm just going to practice now. Me and Paul are going at it. We're going to... So you call it rock, paper, scissors. I call it Ching Chang Walla. That's weird, isn't it?
And here we must state that racism was not mentioned in any way, shape, or form. I mean,
that's not racist.
It's an old English dialect of how the game was described.
Yeah, it is, and it's not racist. Look it up online. It's not racist. I'm not a racist guy. Wow, talk about putting me in a position. Cheers, guys. Bon saying, Lou, how do you cope with these two nutters?
Well, that's why I go out with my group Mystic Paranormal UK.
That's
to get away from it because it's just too much.
No.
I'm not being funny. All you're doing, Lou, is running away from your problems.
No, she's not. She's marrying one of them.
It's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, nightmare, Ben, isn't it? Yeah. Oh wow. um, As Jeanette's saying, yay, and it's great. Honestly, we do have like a bit like inside the other dimension. It's so crazy because we do have a proper laugh, and it's like Saturday. It comes to Saturdays. Like this Saturday, we just done. We had one of these sessions where we were just chatting crap. Obviously, like the next Saturday coming up, we've got to get a subject in that, and we've got to do it properly. But I mean, like it's nice to sort of let your hair down on a bonus show, isn't it?
Oh God, yeah. We've got what? We're third most downloaded podcast in Asia.
Yeah, South Asia, yeah, 97th in America for paranormal. Like we're rocking, man. We're rocking. We really are.
I think they struggle a bit with English humour sometimes. I know the Americans do a bit.
Yeah, no, Americans don't get English humour. They really, really don't get English humour. It's just crazy. But
that's why they struggle with demonic cases and stuff like that. I don't think they know the difference between a demonic actually taking the nick or whether it's just a general attack.
Yeah. I mean, what people have to understand, Shelley's saying, I'm just loving the banter. You have got great chemistry, guys. Yeah, Joel, I worked out there. Our first broadcast was on the Demonologist UK in February, but not this year. It was like the year before. Like it was 2020. Like, and even then, when you first come on, we was just bantering with each other before that's the first time we just met each other. So it was quite crazy. But what you have to understand is the stuff that we deal with on a daily basis, the books that we read, the cases that we deal with, they're very dark. They're very, profound, disturbing, profound. They do have a knock-on effect. So when we're sort of unleashed on this platform, like it's literally, it's like getting that wind up toy and you wind it to a point where it starts clicking. You think, oh, no, I'm going to do 3 or 4 more just to make sure it goes forever. Do you know what I mean? So when we get released, it's like, yeah. So
pretty much we do have the paranormal stuff, but we tell the more funnier side stuff on the inside.
Yeah, we sort of go on the funnier side of things. Like that woman that married her poltergeist. That is actually popped up on my phone the other day. A woman married her poltergeist. But
oh no, that was the woman that married the pirate ghost, wasn't it?
Yeah. This is the woman that married a poltergeist. And the thing that they've done it is they said if you like I said like in the ceremony, if you do wish to marry this woman, can you give us a sign? And supposedly one of the rings moved. And then that was the sign that. But how do you know he even turned up? Did you sign the papers afterwards? You know, they're able to.
Same one.
Yeah, exactly. That's summoning at a new level. You know what I mean?
I like the pirate ghost one. That was funny. We broke up because we were doing too many parties and bringing other entities back to the house. How would you even know this?
That's what I mean. Shelley's asking, so I do investigations with my team of if we encounter something that seems demonic or negative, what tips would you give us to handle it best?
Don't use white sage.
Yeah, don't use sage. There's your starters.
Probably the best example I'd say is just lower your aggression straight away. There's just a cat.
What the hell is that? There is. Oh my god, it's alive. I thought it was Ben's foot.
It's the cat that suddenly jumped up. So what you guys got was this little
tail that's going up.
It's an orb.
What's his tail around?
He just suddenly appeared.
Dealing with negative and demonics.
I'd use frankincense straight away, or Santo. Just neutralise the environment straight away.
Yeah, the 3 tips. Here's the 3 tips for you. The ones that I sort of put out of the bag. Don't use sage.
Yeah.
Don't ask it if you know if it's dead.
Yes.
Right. That's a massive one. And the 3rd one is be respectful.
Yeah.
No matter if the entity's attacking you, throwing stuff at you, don't start calling out going, oh, you're weak and you're this and you're that, because what you're doing is you're antagonizing, especially if it's demonic, you're antagonizing something that's stronger than what you possibly could imagine. So antagonize it is going to cause serious harm.
Move away from doors as well is the best one. Give it an escape route.
Yep. Yeah, because there's that age-old story. Don't close doors in haunted rooms, don't you?
Yeah. If it's a feral, for example, like I was talking about the other show, if it's a feral that's suddenly become highly aggressive and highly territorial, if you're stood in the way of its route out, it will just keep going. So just make sure everyone moves aside away from the door. And you'll find out it'll either go. If it's still sticking around, then we start. Just get frankincense, something like that. Bring the whole level back down to neutral. Yeah, just neutralize the environment, bringing the pH back down to level. Yeah, 100%. That's a really good question, though, Shelley. Really good question. Yeah. We don't really get questions like that on here. No, so that's quite nice. She's saying cheers. No problem, Shelley. No problem. Fine. Welcome to the madness.
Yeah, the madhouse. The El Casa Ducasa, which I only found out the other day. That means my castle, your castle.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I did honestly. Like, I'm like, I've got so much stored in my brain. I think what's happened is over the years where I've put more in, other bits get pushed out. So like, I know that it's going to get to a point where I've read so many books that I'm going to forget to put my socks on properly, and I'm going to be putting them like on my hands or something. Well,
yeah. Look how it is already. You still not finished your haircut. That's how much information.
I know what I'm doing. I decided, right? I'm going to grow this so that when you're at your next Viking festival, I'm just going to turn up like dressed in proper Viking attire and be like, "You there?" You'll be like, "Oh my God."
That's all you're going to end up with. Because like your hair is receding faster than mine. So all you're going to end up with is a little ponytail at the back.
I'm sponsored by McDonald's. Look. You can see the golden arches.
And if anyone would like to advertise on Damon's forehead,
please look, you got a full billboard there. Look, Wi-Fi. Honestly, I come to the conclusion the other day that my hairline is scared of my face, so it's growing backwards. Do you use protection or use press? You can use both.
I would have went in there, Vonnie. I was going to say it's a bit private.
Yeah. You're like in a haunted room and they're like, have you bought protection? Yes. Ripped for extra pleasure.
I don't use prayers at all. I find they kind of irritate different spirits because obviously then selecting one religion.
There are, I wouldn't say they're prayers, but there are sort of annotations you can take from the Key of Solomon or the Greater Key of Solomon as well, which helps you protection against, especially if you're dealing with one of the 72. Yeah. And there's encryption on Solomon's ring that you can say as well, but no one actually knows what it is.
Yeah, and those that have spent long enough researching it, stupid enough to give it out.
Bonnie's asking who does Viking festivals. We done a full broadcast from a Viking festival.
Yes,
and Ben got on to shout in the background. That was awesome.
You're doing that again this year?
When's that?
31st of July.
That's like straight after your wedding, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then so Ben and Lewis spending their honeymoon getting drunk on mead, drinking some horns.
Yeah, the wedding's been moved, so.
Well, that was only not to do with the Viking festival. That was just to do with the original location of where we're supposed to be having the wedding.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're better off letting me know close to the time so I know where I'm driving to, because I'm going to be turning up in the little pocket rocket anyway. Yeah, boy. Yeah, that's my little car, my little pocket rocket, my little pride and joy. Actually, Shelley's saying actually ended. My hairline is scared of my face. It's true. It's actually physically true. Yeah. I'm receiving at the age of 34.
Just the cat's back. So if you see any random movement on the camera like that, it's his tail.
It's not an orb. We're not got an apparition. It's just the cat.
Get
Just the Salem.
salt.
Well, I've only saying, oh, that's interesting. You only go to the one at Flamborough on New Year's Eve. I'm going to go to a Viking festival this year. I've decided. I'm going to go as a pagan and see what happens.
Nothing. You just get a beer for it.
I just, you see the size of my mouth. All I've got to do is open. It's inhaled, so it's all good. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You won't get it lobbed at you. You get thrown at you, so you catch it and drink.
Oh no, I'm going to do one this year. Also, like guys, I'm going to be working on the Other Dimension Paranormal Investigation, where we all get together. It's going to be live on Facebook as well. I'm going to send invites out to all our regulars and lock in.
Yep.
We can get people. We get Vonnie down there and Kathy. Your sister can come along. That'd be good.
No.
Yeah, of course. Emma, if you're locked in, more than happy for you to come along. Yeah, so we'll put invitations out there, and I'm going to get it sorted. It'll be for next year now anyway. Don't forget, if you want to support the show, if you want to sort of keep the lights on here at TOD Towers, head over to patreon.com/Other Dimension to sign up. For as little as £1 a month, you can sponsor a radio presenter and you get stuff to be but yeah, no, I mean, like for the listeners out there, you guys are amazing. Always supporting us. Don't forget, we're live on Saturday, 9 till 10 p.m. here on the Other Dimension page, and also I'll be live on Pulse Talk Radio.
Yep.
Getting down to business. Normally, we discuss on Inside the Other Dimension what subject we're going to do on Saturday, don't we? Normally, I don't know what we're
I might have a bit of a subject. I might bring up I've been redoing studies on certain things, and undugs have come up again, which might be interesting. An undug.
Are you trying to say something different, but your northern accent is taken over?
Undug.
Undug.
Yeah. So UDUG.
Oh, udug, not undug.
UDU.
Has it got an
Udug. An udug.
Oh, undug, as in.
Yeah.
You mean udug?
Udug. Yeah. Udug.
Udug.
I was because you were saying undug. I thought you was
Yeah,
just
you're
like,
saying undug.
No, leave me alone. I can't
like,
speak properly.
he's going to come up with a recipe for like a hot dog, but done like raw or something. I don't know. An undug.
They are the Sumerian demonics that are neither good nor bad.
That's the same as gin, though. Gin are not good or bad, are they?
Yeah, these are a different race to the gin.
Oh, good God. More carrot on sticks.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is, yeah. So, yeah, we can do that.
These are the messengers and basically underdogs of the Anunnaki.
Right, okay.
Well, no,
Cool.
not the Anunnaki. They actually got the gods of Sumeria, because the Anunnaki are above the gods. Then you've got the gods and the deities. Then you've got these guys, and then you've got all.
Sounds good. We can do that. That sounds good to me. Also, guys, pay attention. It always gets to the end of the show, and I do it, don't I? We've also got the Shadows of History on the Saturday show every other week. And when Lou decides to actually come back to the light side and leave the dark side, she'll be doing a bi-weekly divination show as part of the Other Dimension, where she'll be teaching us how to do divination properly.
Properly?
No pressure.
Yeah. No pressure. No
Not
pressure at all. Or we could just do 10-minute segments where you throw things at Ben and see his reaction. That would go down really well.
We couldn't, because my answer would be the same answer every time. It begins with F and it's very short.
It begins with F and ends in off.
Yeah.
So yeah, right. We've got to the end of the show tonight. Thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you to new guests as well. New guests, new people.
Yeah, I mean, Shelley, but a big shout out to Shelley, out to Tiger. Who else did we have looking? Jacqueline, out to Jeanette as well, out to Drewly Nichols, out to Emma. She's always locked in anyway.
Yeah.
His sister's always locked in. yeah, thank you all for locking in tonight. It's been really, really fun. It's been great to have you on here. Don't forget, if you loved The Other Dimension, check us out every Saturday, 9 till 10 p.m. at the same place or over on Pulse Talk Radio. Or if you want them extra bonusy ones, patreon.com/The Other Dimension. Go on, mate.
Also, check out Slate and Bone. All of Lou's jewelry, Viking jewelry, is on there.
Definitely check it out. Official sponsor of the page. We're going to get a little video up for that.
Oh, nice.
I got time on my hands now, so I'll work on it. But yeah, thank you all for locking in. We're out of here. So it's bye from me and bye from the dream team over there. And don't forget, guys, if there's no other explanation, there is always The Other Dimension. Take care. Goodbye. Good night.